Hi everyone, this is a quick tutorial on Igor Pro. Igor Pro is a graphical interface. It's mostly used for plotting the graph for research manuscript, and that's why it's very popular among the researchers. So for publication you need a high quality graphical um presentation, and Excel is not very popular for that kind of users. So here in Igor you can see that the interface looks little bit like Excel. However, it's not very user friendly as compared to Excel, but it has a lot of capability, and you can do programming in this. You can also interface C++ with it or other programming languages, and can do a lot of things by using the automation. But right now I'm just giving a quick tutorial on how to plot some graphs in Igor and how it is different from Excel. So for example, if I want to plot something in Igor or add the data, I have many options. Either I can enter the data right away, like I can say 1 2 3, and then I can plot my y as 10 20 35 and 40, and let's do 4. So this is another one way, and other way is that I can just paste the numbers here. So as you can see, I have so if you go to the menu, you can say data and say data browser. So data browser, so you can see this data browser is here, and then you can see that because I made wave 0 and wave 1, they show up in the data browser. So I can click on the wave 1 and see how this wave looks like, and it opens the wave in another table. So I can close it, and if I close it and don't save it, that doesn't mean that my data is gone. So like suppose let's close this window, that doesn't mean that the data is gone. The data is still there, and the only thing I didn't save was the table. So I can again create the table, or I can click on the data and see the data is here, or I can say window new table and then append these two columns, and then it says wave 0, so I can get the same column. So data is always saved. So if I want to get rid of this data entirely, then I have to click on the wave and then third click and say kill wave for 1. So if I kill it, then it will be gone. So I say kill, yes, and now you can see that in the data browser the wave is gone. Now let me create the wave again, 10 20 35 and 60. And now the other thing about Igor Pro is that instead of saving the whole experiment, I can also export the wave. So you can say file, and then you can say or maybe go to data and say save waves and save Igor binary. So or save delimited text. So if I say save Igor binary, it asks me which wave you want to save, and so I say wave 1, and then I can say do it. So it asks me where do I want to save the wave, and I can say save, and it saves the waves. And then I can always import that wave back. So data, and then I say so I saved wave 0, right? So I can delete the wave 0. So delete kill wave 0, and now I can import the wave. So data load waves, um, file, and go to the desktop, and no, it says, oh, I have to select Igor binary here. So data load waves, load Igor binary, because I saved it as binary, and say wave 0. So copy this wave to the current experiment. So yes, so now I have the wave 0 back in our experiment. So this is a very different approach, but it's like it's a different approach to transfer the data. So if I have a collaboration and want to send the data to another researcher, then I can just send one of the particular data set instead of sending the whole set of experiments, and then it can be easily imported into the Igor. So I'm not saying this is one of the advantages of it, but this is how it works. And now let's try to see how you plot the graph here. So I say window new graph, and then I say y is wave 1 and x is wave 0, and say do it, and it plotted the graph here. So now when I newly used the Igor, I remember I was struggling a little bit because I was not used to it, and I didn't have patience to look at it very closely. But now I will tell you quickly how to modify this graph. So for example, if I want to make it a I want to change the graph, so I can double click on this line, so that opens this interface. I can see how the lines look like. I can change the color from here. I can change the marker, so size of line and marker. I can change the marker. There's so many marker options. And then I can also change the size of the marker. I can change the size of the line. I can change the style of the line, and I can also put the error bars or the gaps in between. So I'll not go into the details, but you can check that out. And I say do it, and it changes the graph like here. So suppose I don't like, now I don't like the big the size of the markers. I can always make them bigger. So I'll say let's make it 6. Say do it. So it make the marker bigger. Right? This is too big, so let's do it 4. So here, no. This is how it is. Now I can label the axis. So if I double click on the axis, you can say that I have so many options for the axis. So I can change the log, change the modes. I can go to log 2, or date and time. I can also change the axis. I can add another axis on the top if I want to. Then I can also change the font. There are so many options. And then I can modify the ticks which are there on the axis. So right now it's in auto tick, but you can say define the ticks. Then you can, if you manually compute manual ticks, then you can also change when do you want the ticks to be there. And then you have option for the grids, how many grids you want. Do you want the grids, do you want engineering label or you want scientific label, do you want tick outside or inside? And then again these are some more tick options. Then you have axis label. So like I can say this is my x-axis or y-axis, so let's say x axis. So this is how I can write it down. And then I can also take left axis and say y-axis. And then I also have label options. Label on, I want it, I want the labels on the x-axis or not, or and then I have axis range, so I can define minimum and maximum. I can say do it, and it does it. So now this is my graph. And now suppose instead of this graph I want suppose now I want to fit a line into this graph. So all I have to do is go to data analysis. So this is nice, and say curve fitting. So this is a curve fitting, and then I have all these functions I can do the fitting for. So right now I want to fit a line into it, so I'll choose line. And then the y-axis is wave 1, and x-axis is wave 0. And then I can go to the coefficients and say so it doesn't need to, so I can hold a or b in that. So this is my equation. So this is the equation it will use to fit the graph. So a plus bx, and then I said do it. So it fits the line into it. It gives me the value of a, it gives me the value of b, and also the standard deviation. So now what I can do is I can remove the line. So instead of using the line and marker, I can just make markers. And then in the fit I can increase the length to 0.5 and say do it. And now this is how, so this is black. I don't like the black red one, so let's do line, let's do black. This is how it looks like. And if I don't want this box, I can just double click it and say delete, and then I can take this graph like this, and this is what you get. And then if you paste it on the Word, then this is how it will look like. And you can see the quality of the graph is much better. You can also obtain same kind of graph in Excel, but it's more pain to deal with that graphs. Now suppose if I want the graph to be I want a different graph, so I can say I want a bar graph. So I say window, new, and then go to category plot, and here I can say oh, for this I need to define the the suppose this is these are the age group of the people, right? So let's name them. So this is John, this is Mary, this is Mike, and this is Nathan, right? So now I can go to window and say new category plot, and then I can plot wave 1 versus uh, this category, and then this gives me the graph. So right now I don't like this graph a lot, so let's change it. So let's define the range. So I define the range here, go to manual minimum and say 0. So and let's do it 80. So this is how it looks like. And then let's double click on this and change the graph size. So let's make it this, or maybe this, and then now this is how it is. So I can label this axis, I can say axis label and say edges, and then I can increase the distance between the graphs between the bars by saying by increasing this number. So whatever sounds good. So let's do 50 and do it, and then now I can say graph, uh, add annotations, and then say legends, and then it says ages. So do it, and this is how it shows up. Now suppose I make another graph of say 1 2 3 4, I don't know what is this, but just like one I added, and now I want to add that category into this one. So I say graph, append to graph category plot, and then it asks me what I want to add. So I'll say wave 2 and axis new. So I say right axis, and the new axis is ABC. Say okay, say do it. So now it made a new axis on the side, and then I can click on this axis. So now this is so let me change these numbers. So let's make it 2 and this 1 4. So now you can see that I have another axis here, but I can move this axis here, and now I can grab this graph and move it like in the other direction, and then I can change the, because now you can see only 2 bars because the graph starts with 1. So I need to change the range, and I say minimum is 0 here, and the maximum is 5 here, and then I go to the and say do it, and then I change the distance between the graphs. I double click here and go to axis and say category gap is 10% or 50%, or let's do 60%, and then say done. And now you can see that I can grab this graph and move it on the side to get it, and then double click on it and change. Suppose this is the some other random number that could be so what can be 1 or 2? 1 or 2 could be their group number. I can say change, and to look it better, let's change the pattern and say fill type, and now this is what I have. So now this axis is number, X is label, say. So this is how you plot in Igor. So I know it's maybe I was a little fast, but you can always pause the video and see the steps. And it could be easy for some people who have experience, but if you're using it for first time, this could be a little tricky. And so I think this tutorial will help you at least in plotting some graphs in Igor and saving the data, how to import or export the waves, or how to enter the data into the Igor system. So I hope this tutorial will help, and I'll see you later then. Bye.